Day 4 of the 12 Days of Christmas series, where today we talk about the truth about Mattel's forgotten Pixar Cars diecasts. Now, what do I mean by forgotten, you may ask? I'm talking about them. Him. Alright, he's a duplicate. All these guys right over here. Oh geez, do you remember one? How about them over there? They're pretty buff looking. Oh yeah, how about my channel logo? And this variant of the channel logo. Yeah, you see, of the variant as in flags on the back. Now why do I say that these are probably Mattel's forgotten Pixar Cars diecasts? Let's be real, they're part of like the first responders of the Cars franchise. Yes, we have the fire trucks, which actually now I feel bad for not showing them. Here we go with my boys right here. Tiny Lugsworth, and then we got Red, then we got Alfredo or Alberto, I completely forgot the name. I know it starts with an A though. And there's just some more I probably will show you later on. But the reason why I say they are probably forgotten is because they're looked more as background characters. And let's be real, when we see them in the movie, we're like, oh, well, they're not too important. Continue on with the plot. Me personally, as one who has so much respect for law enforcement and me studying criminal justice as a student, those cars do mean a lot to me. Now I feel like I'm going a little extra now. I probably am. You probably think I am too. But let's think of those cars and pretend they were real people. Despite Sheriff being on the side of the road and sleeping and waiting for some delinquents to pass by him so he can chase them, if he were a real person, I believe his job will be a whole lot more dangerous. So you guys remember that when Mater had the bomb on his hood? It was literally during the World Grand Prix race. It literally got interrupted. Once Mater bowed down to the Queen of England, you saw everyone just freaked out. Bomb! And you had a swarm of police officers just come out of nowhere. Evacuate the people that were nearby. Make sure the Queen was safe. Make sure all the officials of Britain were safe. Now let's also take a look at firefighters. With Red, we never really seen any fire encounter, but I believe with Tiny Lugsworth in Cars 3, we were able to see him assist on the scene where McQueen crashed. Alfredo or Alberto, I keep forgetting his name. You know what? That's why we have Google here. Hey, I was right, Alfredo. Look how useful Google is. In Cars 2, when that big crash at the World Grand Prix racers happened, you see Alfredo and a bunch of ambulances just swarm over to that scene as basically the medical attention that the racers needed. And honestly, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and involve some Planes characters in this. So you see all these guys right over here? Not these two here, but starting from the top all the way over here. Not those guys either. Maybe even him too. Come on, he didn't have a role, but that's okay. When I watched the Planes Fire and Rescue movie, man, it just revealed something to me. We should have respect for those firefighters out there, all the first responders, because they do something that we probably wouldn't have the guts to do. Encounter ourselves with near-death experiences. You gotta fight fires, whether it be building fires or wildfires. And sometimes as a firefighter, you might lose the ability to spray water at the flame, just like what happened to Pulaski in the movie. Now, Cars Police, my question is this: how in the world do the Piston Cup officials fall into this stuff? Well, let's be real. A pace car, they're probably slowing everything down as something goes on so nothing can get worse. The officials are ones who are in charge of determining whether a racer should be out of the race just for their own medical safety. Then pickup trucks like Dexter Hoover, Chris Repstopsky, they're ones who start the race. They are ones who determine, oh, maybe you have to slow down when the race is done. So even them, they are keeping everything organized. Then the security ones, Marlon Clutches McKay, and all those other security officers. Their name says it all. Security for the entire race. Making sure everything is safe, making sure everything is in order. If anything goes wrong, then they'll have to come in. And then if something gets worse, then they'll have to call more professional officials like Sheriff, Officer Mutakarmi, and all those other airport security officers. Keeping the airport safe from any potential threats, making sure everyone is clear and good to go through those metal detectors. And I'm sorry, Mr. Alex Mandel, even though you're not doing anything wrong. So instead of forgetting the important role behind these characters, I feel like we should at least respect them. Respect the reality behind those characters. Because then when we do that, we can respect more of the in real life people who do the exact same thing as them. I was about to say it's not a real job. It's not an easy job. It's a very risky job in what they do. Sometimes their life could be on the line and we just don't know that. So I urge you guys to take some moments. Look at those diecasts. Yes, even though if they're pieces of metal painted up with some designs, and maybe if they have like a plastic accessory, just think of them as if they were real people. connect their job to the real world. Then we'll probably have a lot more respect for those real life emergency responders, those real life officials, those security officers, those who help keep everything enforced and in order. And then if we just look at those diecasts, we easily won't forget them. I remember when I got them, I was super duper excited. And whenever I look at them, I'm just excited that I have them. I was able to get them when I was younger, when I used to collect diecasts, of course. Now my question is this: did you miss out on day 3 of the 12 Days of Christmas? If you did, go right ahead and take a look at the video right now, where we predict what if Blue Collection were to return. What were things he will have to do, or maybe even a secret, things he doesn't have to do.